Alright, welcome everybody back to Chef Chat. I am Chef James Lehman from Ironstone Vineyards. Today we're going to talk about bread, fresh bread. A lot of people don't make fresh bread because they probably don't know how. They think there's some kind of mystery to it, some kind of science. There really isn't that much science involved, and it's really easy to do. A lot of you probably go out and buy the frozen doughs, thaw them out, bake them. Yeah, they turn out pretty good, but there's nothing like a fresh baked bread that you have made, that you take a little pride in, and you can tell your friends and family during the holiday season, hey, I made this bread. Okay, so speaking of that, the holiday season is a great time to start baking because you've got people coming over, you're going to potlucks. Fresh bread is something that is really, really nice to make, and it tastes great, and people love it. It comes right hot out of the oven, and people just divulge in that stuff. They're eating this stuff. So we're going to talk about it. And it's really easy to do. The first thing you have to do with this recipe, this is going to be a type of a rustic Italian bread, is you have to make what they call a sponge. And that is going to be like a little starter kit, a little catalyst to your bread, right? And that's what I have right here. Now this thing was probably about a third of this size about 4 hours ago. So what we did was we took a quarter teaspoon of just some instant yeast, dry yeast, 2 cups of bread flour, and a cup of warm water. And we just mixed that together with a spoon here, and we made the sponge. Okay, now this is going to sit for a couple hours. You're going to stick it in the fridge, covered with plastic or a towel. You don't want to suffocate these things because they need air to live and breathe. So you just want to lightly cover it or cover it tightly and poke some holes in it, and then you'll have the sponge. You let it sit in the fridge for 8 hours overnight, so it's good to do the night before. Let it sit out for a couple hours, put it in the fridge, and then the next day you can actually make the bread. So we have our sponge here, and the next thing we need to do is we need to get out our handy dandy mixer, our standing mixer. This is a KitchenAid mixer. These things are great. You can do so many things, and I know I've mentioned this before. They're a little pricey to begin with, $199, $250, but it's a really, really great tool to have in your kitchen if you're going to want to do these types of things. So what we would do then is we would take 3 cups of bread flour, some more yeast, some more water, some more salt, and we mix that in here, and we turn this guy on, and we mix it and mix it and mix it till it forms a ball. And then we take this and we put that in there. Now what this is going to do, this has already got a bunch of live active yeast in there, and they're feeding on the starches and everything in there. So you're going to put that in there, and it's going to make this dough like explode with life, okay? Because you've already got life that's happening, and the original one that you put in here doesn't have any life. So we're really starting to build up those yeasty bread flavors that you really, really look for in this type of bread. So we mix that, and then if you want to, you can sit with the dough hook and you can let it mix and let it mix. But what I like to do is I like to clear myself a little workstation here, put some flour out and knead that sucker by hand. It's really a cool thing to do. I love the feel of dough in your hands. So you'll knead that thing 5 minutes, 8 minutes, until it gets nice and firm, and then you stick it back in the bowl. You cover it lightly with a towel or some plastic, and you let it rest for an hour. And then you pull it out, and you punch it down, and you let it rest, and you cover it, let it rest, and we pour it out. And we form it into a loaf, and then we put it on a baking sheet. No reason to grease the baking sheet, and we bake it. Okay? So this recipe is going to be down below on the website. This is a real easy thing to do. Please do not be intimidated by this. Start it the night before Thanksgiving or the party and finish it the next day. It's something that you only have to babysit like for 10 minutes about every hour. You put something in there, you mix it, you knead it, and it's done. You let it sit, you go do your other things, you come back, and it's a slow process, but you can do things, you know, it's not like risotto where you have to sit there and stir the darn thing for like an hour. It doesn't need to be babysat. So this is a really fun thing to do. Please try your hand at bread making. Like I said, easy, easy, easy. All right? Thanks. Until next time.